when you flip through like a high-end bridal magazine, or you're just scrolling past this breathtaking wedding on Instagram, everything looks so incredibly
Oh,
effortless.
yeah, it really does.
I mean, the lighting is perfect. The floral arrangements seem to, just defy gravity. And the makeup is flawless despite the humidity. It all just looks like pure magic.
Right. But that illusion of effortless perfection is, it's actually the exact product of being sold. It's entirely designed to look like magic.
Yeah, because the reality behind the scenes of that magic, it is a notoriously competitive, high stakes, and honestly, sometimes brutal hustle.
Absolutely brutal.
And as a vendor, you could spend your entire career on this treadmill, chasing down newly engaged couples one by one, just constantly fighting for attention in a saturated market.
Which is exhausting.
Exactly. Or you could step off that treadmill entirely. So today, our mission for this deep dive is all about cracking the code of this highly lucrative space.
Yeah.
We are unpacking a specific strategy playbook for specialist vendors. So photographers, florists, makeup artists, event stylists, showing them how to truly scale.
And the entire premise hinges on this really massive shift in perspective, which is to stop chasing the couple and start targeting the ultimate industry gatekeepers.
Right, the wedding planners.
Exactly, the planners. And when we look at the mechanics of this, it is fundamentally a pivot from a business-to-consumer model to a business-to-business model, a B2B model.
Does it make sense?
Because chasing individual couples is an exhausting way to operate. You spend money to acquire a client, you execute the job, and the very next day you are completely unemployed again.
Yeah, you're just starting from scratch. It's like the ultimate gig economy trap,
Precisely. You are constantly hunting. But when you target the planners, you are pitching the person who already holds the roster of clients.
Right.
They are the central nervous system of the entire event. Because they are orchestrating this massive high-stakes live production, they're the ones implicitly trusted to recommend the vendors.
It actually makes me think of the dynamic in the film industry. A wedding planner is essentially a casting director for a blockbuster movie.
Oh, that's a great way to look at it.
Yeah, like as an actor, you can try to fund and shoot and market your own indie films one by one, which is creatively and financially exhausting.
Right.
Or you can focus all your energy on impressing that one casting director. You nail that single audition, you prove you can deliver under pressure, and suddenly they just keep casting you in all their future movies.
Exactly. You never have to cold audition from scratch again.
Yeah.
That analogy really perfectly captures the efficiency of the model, because the benefits of winning over a planner are immense, and they compound over time.
How so?
Well, you secure consistent referrals, you get repeat business with zero customer acquisition cost, you gain access to premium, high-budget clients that you likely couldn't reach through your own organic marketing.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that makes sense.
Plus, your industry credibility just skyrockets purely by being associated with a top-tier planner.
Okay, I do want to push back on this just a little bit, though.
Sure.
For someone just starting out, or even a mid-level vendor trying to break through, isn't it technically easier to go straight to the bride and groom?
Well,
I mean, we live in an era of TikTok and algorithmic reach. You can post a behind-the-scenes video of a floral arrangement, go viral, and book 5 weddings in a weekend. Why put all this sustained effort into courting a middleman who is notoriously busy and hard to reach?
It's a very fair question. And, leveraging algorithms for direct-to-consumer marketing is a perfectly valid piece of a broader puzzle.
Right.
But we have to look at the psychology of risk mitigation here. A viral TikTok video proves you can make a beautiful bouquet in a controlled environment.
Yeah, in your studio with perfect lighting.
Exactly.
Wow.
It does not prove, how to handle the pressure of a 300-person luxury wedding when the caterer's running an hour late, the venue's power just tripped, and the bride is having a panic attack.
Wow. Okay, so it's really about reliability over aesthetics.
Exactly. Planners are managing risk above all else. If a vendor messes up, the client doesn't just blame the vendor, they blame the planner who recommended them.
Oh, of course they do.
Right. So planners desperately want known quantities. They need trusted professionals who can execute flawlessly under fire. A viral video doesn't guarantee that.
But a solid, vetted B2B relationship does.
Exactly. You are essentially outsourcing your client acquisition to them, and in return, you are providing them with peace of mind. One successful partnership equals high-quality bookings year after year.
Okay, that makes total sense.
Yeah.
You want them to do the heavy lifting of finding the clients, and you just deliver the goods.
Precisely.
But that brings us to The operational hurdle. Planners are bombarded. They are managing multiple events, putting out fires, and their inboxes are flooded with dozens of generic vendors begging for a coffee chat every single week.
Oh, yeah. Constantly.
So how do you actually make a busy professional stop scrolling and pay attention to you?
Well, you have to sharply define your unique value proposition, or UVP. And I don't mean just a generic marketing slogan.
Right.
Before you even think about drafting an outreach email, you need absolute clarity on what sets you apart structurally. The playbook we're looking at demands answers to 3 critical questions.
Okay. Yeah.
First, what makes your service functionally unique? Second, what specific problem do you solve for the planner? And critically, why should they choose you over the 3 vendors they already have on speed dial?
I want to look at the specific examples outlined here because they really illustrate the difference between a service and a solution.
Go for it.
Like saying, I am a wedding florist or I take light and airy photos is not a UVP. That is just a job title.
Exactly. It's too broad.
But offering luxury floral arrangements using exclusively sustainable, locally sourced materials, or providing cinematic, drone-integrated videography storytelling,
Yes.
or offering custom bridal styling with deep cultural expertise in traditional South Asian ceremonies, those are actual UVPs.
They are, because they act as cognitive filters. Think about the planner's mental load for a second.
Okay.
They have an eco-conscious couple with a massive budget demanding a zero-waste wedding. That is a logistical headache for a planner.
Oh, totally.
If your UVP is explicitly sustainable luxury florals, you aren't just another florist. You are the exact solution to a very specific, high-friction problem they are currently facing. You just save them hours of research and mental energy.
You're not making them guess where you fit in. You're just saying, I am the exact puzzle piece for this highly specific client profile.
Precisely. There is a fear among vendors that by niching down, they will alienate potential clients.
Yeah, that makes sense. You don't want to turn away business.
Right. But in a B2B context, if you are a generalist, you are competing with everyone, which means you are basically just competing on price.
Ah, a race to the bottom.
Exactly. But if you have deep cultural expertise in a specific type of ceremony, you are competing with almost no one in that micro niche.
That's true.
The planners who have those specific clients will actively seek you out because you de-risk the cultural nuances of the event for them.
Let's unpack the mechanics of how you actually present that.
Yeah.
Because once you've identified that sharp, unique angle, you can't just fire off a text saying, hey, I do sustainable flowers now.
No, definitely not.
You have to package your business so an overwhelmed gatekeeper can digest your value instantly, without friction.
Mm.
The strategy points to 2 non-negotiable assets you must have ready.
The first is your professional portfolio. And we really need to be clear here, this is not just a curated Instagram grid.
Right.
It needs to demonstrate breadth and consistency. High-quality imagery, absolutely, but also real wedding case studies.
Like what?
Show the before and after transformations of a raw venue space. Include detailed testimonials from past clients that speak to your professionalism, not just your artistry. The portfolio is what builds the initial visceral trust.
Okay, and the second asset is the vendor media kit. This is where you transition from an artist to a business partner, right?
Exactly.
It includes a tight brand intro, a breakdown of specific services, a baseline pricing overview, contact info, and digital links.
Yes.
I look at the media kit like a highly optimized B2B dating profile. It needs to have all your vital stats formatted so cleanly that the planner can evaluate you in 30 seconds.
That's a great comparison. And the format matters just as much as the content here. Planners are highly organized, systems-driven people.
Oh, they have to be.
They rely on CRM software and structured folders. A beautifully formatted PDF or a dedicated, fast-loading digital kit fits perfectly into their workflow.
Right, so they don't have to go digging for it.
Exactly. When they have a client that matches your sustainable floral UVP 6 months from now, they don't want to hunt through their Instagram direct messages to find that one vendor they talked to.
That sounds like a nightmare.
It is. They want to pull up your media kit from their vendor database. If you don't provide one, you are creating friction, and friction kills B2B referrals.
Okay, so the foundation is laid. We have the niche angle, the airtight portfolio, and the frictionless media kit.
Yeah.
Now comes the active part, knocking on the door. And the execution of this initial pitch is where, honestly, most vendors completely shoot themselves in the foot.
Because they make it about themselves instead of the planner. The initial pitch must be brutally concise, impactful, and entirely value-driven.
Yeah, there is a 4-part structure outlined here that is incredibly effective. Introduction. which is who you are.
Okay.
Value proposition, what specific gap you fill.
Mm-hmm.
Proof, which is your portfolio link.
Mm-hmm.
And a call to action, suggesting a low-stakes collaboration.
It's very simple.
Let's actually look at the exact script provided in the source because it's a great case study in brevity.
Sure.
It goes, "Hi, name. I'm a wedding photographer specializing in editorial-style shoots for luxury weddings. I've worked with multiple high-end clients and would love to collaborate with you to elevate your events. Here's my portfolio. Looking forward to connecting."
It is remarkably efficient. Notice the restraint there.
Yeah.
There is no paragraph about how passionate you are about photography since childhood. There is no desperate pleading for a coffee meeting.
Right, none of that fluff.
It establishes the niche, editorial luxury. It provides the proof, and it respects the planner's most valuable asset, which is their time.
So where are we deploying this pitch strategically? Email is obviously the baseline, but the playbook is adamant that it must be hyper-personalized.
Extremely personalized.
Then there's the social media mix. Instagram is great for the visual proof, Pinterest for shared inspiration boards, but the one that really stood out to me was LinkedIn.
Oh, LinkedIn is massively underutilized in the event space.
Really?
Yeah. Everyone gravitates to Instagram because it's a visual industry. But remember who you are targeting.
The planners.
Planners are business owners. They are entrepreneurs managing complex supply chains. They are on LinkedIn specifically looking to build reliable B2B networks.
That makes a lot of sense.
Engaging with them, there's signals that you view yourself as a business professional, not just a hired creative.
I have to ask the uncomfortable question, though.
Go for it.
We keep emphasizing how overwhelmed and busy these planners are. By executing this strategy, aren't you just adding to the noise? Isn't cold emailing or dropping into their LinkedIn messages going to inherently annoy them?
It is only annoying if it lacks context and value. This is the difference between spam and strategic networking.
Okay, how so?
If you send a copy-paste email that starts with "Dear Planner," yes, that is profoundly annoying. It shows you couldn't be bothered to do basic research.
Right.
But if your outreach is hyper-targeted, let's say you write, "Hi, Sarah. I analyzed your design work on the Smith wedding at the Botanical Gardens last month. The way you handled the lighting transition was brilliant. I specialize in cinematic videography that captures exactly that kind of atmospheric shift."
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's completely different.
Right. If you follow that up with the concise 4-part structure, you aren't an annoyance. You are a peer offering a highly relevant, vetted solution to a problem they face daily.
That is a critical distinction. Context just transforms the interaction.
It really does.
But let's play this out. You send that perfectly calibrated, context-rich pitch. You hit send, and, nothing. Crickets. They don't reply.
It happens.
This is where panic usually sets in. How do vendors avoid ruining their chances at this vulnerable stage?
By understanding that silence is not necessarily a rejection, it's usually just a scheduling issue. But this waiting period is where vendors often hit 3 massive tripwires that destroy their credibility.
Okay, the first tripwire is the generic follow-up.
Yes.
If you follow a personalized pitch with an automated, just bubbling this up to the top of your inbox message, you instantly undo all the goodwill you built.
Exactly. It shows you aren't actually paying attention.
The second tripwire is fascinating to me. Overpricing without the track record to justify it.
This is a lethal mistake. Planners know the margins of this industry better than anyone. They have spreadsheets detailing exact vendor costs across their entire city.
Oh, of course.
If you come in quoting $10,000 for a service that the market dictates is worth $4,000, you aren't just losing the job. You are insulting the planner's intelligence.
Wow. Yeah.
You signal that you are either wildly inexperienced and don't know the market, or worse, you are trying to pull a fast one. Either way, you become a liability. Your pricing must align tightly with the verifiable experience in your media kit.
And the third tripwire is the digital dead end.
Yes.
A planner finally reads your pitch a month later. They are intrigued, they click your links, and your website takes 10 seconds to load, or your last Instagram post was from like 2023.
It instantly kills the momentum.
It makes you look like a hobbyist who might not even be in business anymore.
Which is why maintaining a flawless digital presence is non-negotiable.
Right.
But assuming you've navigated those tripwires, how do you handle the long-term silence? You have to shift your psychology from a transactional sales mindset to a long-term collaboration mindset.
Okay.
You build trust with someone who hasn't hired you by operating from a place of abundance.
Meaning you provide value without asking for anything in return.
Exactly. You share a highly relevant industry report with them. Or, counterintuitively, you recommend a competitor.
Wait, Really?
Yes, if you come across a brilliant new lighting designer, you send the planner a quick note. Hey, saw this designer's work? Thought they might be a great fit for your modern industrial aesthetic.
That feels so backwards for a competitive vendor. Why would I hand them someone else's name?
Because it proves you care more about the success of their events than your own ego. It demonstrates profound confidence.
Oh, I see.
It positions you as an industry insider with a curated network, not a desperate vendor begging for scraps.
That is powerful.
If you do this consistently, maybe touching base once a quarter with genuine value, you slowly transition in their mind from a stranger in their inbox to a trusted industry peer. When the right wedding comes along, you will be the first person they call.
That is a masterful psychological pivot.
It really is.
But it also highlights that direct B2B outreach, while incredibly effective, requires serious, sustained hustle.
Right?
Which brings us to the operational pivot in this strategy playbook.
Right.
You are actively hunting leads. But how do you build an infrastructure that makes the planners come to you?
This is the evolution from outbound sales to inbound lead generation. And this is where leveraging dedicated digital ecosystems becomes critical. We have to look closely at platforms designed to remove the friction of discovery.
Right, and the playbook places a massive emphasis on Weddizer here.
Yeah.
We really need to unpack this because it essentially automates the networking process we just discussed.
It does.
Platforms like Weddizer are built explicitly to connect vendors, planners, and clients in one centralized hub.
And what is structurally advantageous about a platform like Weddizer is that it solves the fragmentation problem of the wedding industry.
How so?
Usually, vendors are scattered across dozens of localized directories, disparate social feeds, and personal websites. Planners have to scour the internet to find them. Weddizer acts as a closed ecosystem marketplace. When you optimize a profile there, integrating your UVP, your portfolio, and your media kit elements, you are placing yourself directly in the search path of planners who are actively looking to hire.
Oh, that's brilliant.
You aren't interrupting their day with a cold email. You are appearing exactly when they have purchase intent.
Like the difference between knocking on doors to sell a product versus setting up a beautifully branded booth inside a trade show where the buyers are already walking the floor with their wallets out.
Exactly. It streamlines the evaluation process for the gatekeepers.
And it amplifies your credibility by mere association with a vetted directory.
Yes. But establishing a presence on a platform like Weddizer is only one half of the inbound equation.
Okay, what's the other half?
Ensuring your own digital properties are capturing highly targeted search traffic.
We are talking about advanced SEO. And what I really appreciate about this strategy is that it skips the basic 101 definitions and goes straight to B2B application. We all know we need keywords, but the playbook points out that vendors usually optimize for the wrong audience.
That is the crucial insight. Most specialist vendors optimize their sites for direct-to-consumer traffic. They use keywords like beautiful wedding photography.
Sure, which makes sense if you're targeting the company.
Exactly. But if your strategy is to target gatekeepers, your SEO architecture needs to reflect that. You need to capture long-tail, B2B intent.
Like what?
Keywords and phrases like wedding planner collaboration Chicago or B2B event vendor services. You want your site to rank when a planner is explicitly searching for a reliable partner, not just when a bride is looking for inspiration.
And it applies to local SEO as well. I mean, weddings are physical, location-bound events.
Absolutely.
Targeting long-tail local searches like luxury sustainable florist in downtown Austin ensures you are capturing high-intent traffic rather than competing globally for generic terms. It even ties into content marketing.
Content clusters are highly effective here.
How does that work?
Well, if you publish a detailed, authoritative guide on your site about managing logistical timelines for multi-day South Asian weddings, you are accomplishing two things.
Okay.
First, you are sending strong, relevant signals to search engines, boosting your overall domain authority. Second, when a planner lands on that article, you immediately establish yourself as an expert who understands the operational complexities of their job.
It is a brilliantly cohesive strategy when you look at it from 30,000 feet.
It really is.
You have your active outbound engine, which is identifying the gatekeeper, refining the UVP, packaging the media kit, and deploying context-rich pitches.
Right.
And simultaneously, you are building a passive inbound engine, establishing authority through B2B content marketing, capturing local search intent, and removing discovery friction by maintaining a highly optimized presence on centralized hubs like Weddizer.
You are effectively surrounding the planner with your expertise. It is a mature, sustainable business architecture. You are systematically inserting yourself into the professional supply chain of a highly lucrative industry, rather than relying on algorithmic luck to find a single client.
That brings this all together for everyone listening. If you want to scale in this space, you have to step off the B2C treadmill.
Yes. Stop chasing individual clients.
Identify the planners who hold the keys to the kingdom. Filter your offerings into a sharp, undeniable, unique value proposition. Package your proof into a frictionless media kit.
Pitch with brevity and deep context.
Avoid the fatal errors of overpricing and digital decay. And most importantly, build an inbound infrastructure that works while you sleep.
It is a phenomenal blueprint for the event space. But as we wrap up, I do want to look at the underlying mechanics of this B2B shift, because the implications go far beyond weddings.
Oh, absolutely.
We are talking about the profound power of the gatekeepers. In your own industry, who is the single node that connects to dozens of endpoints? Who is the person whose daily logistical headache you could solve?
And taking that a step further, how is technology going to redefine who or what that gatekeeper is?
That is the million-dollar question.
We are optimizing our pitches for human planners right now. But as AI integration deepens, we might soon see high-end clients using sophisticated AI-driven concierges to scrape vendor data, evaluate media kits, and assemble event rosters based on algorithmic compatibility.
It's inevitable.
If the gatekeeper of tomorrow isn't a human in an inbox, but an algorithm scraping platforms like Weddizer for structured data, how does your current pitch hold up?
Wow.
Can your unique value proposition be understood by a machine, or are you still relying purely on aesthetics? Something to really think about as you build your infrastructure. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive. Go refine your systems, find your gatekeepers, and we will catch you next time.